Hey Dragonfly Swarm, so Genshin Impact has officially turned 1 year old, which means a lot of the player base have been playing for a year, and unfortunately enough, a large majority of this side of the player base have started speaking out about their burnout in the game, which isn't entirely surprising, but it still finally allows the community as a whole to address the issue and brainstorm ways in which the issue can be fixed. Obviously, midway through towards the end of every patch, there's almost always a slight content drought, which is only natural. miHoYo can only put out so much content at once, and this isn't necessarily a new thing, but it's becoming more and more tiring for players with every new patch that comes out. Because even with all these patches, a lot of people are only coming back to pull for their favorite new characters, maybe spend a few days investing in them, maybe taking them to the Spiral Abyss, and then that's it again until the next patch. Bong! Nice. And especially for more hardcore players, we've really hit a wall with the whole content thing, because it seems like there's almost nothing to do in Genshin's endgame except dailies, weeklies, and the Spiral Abyss resets, plus whatever events are out during the patch, which adds up to maybe 30 minutes to an hour of gameplay a day at best. Now in all fairness to miHoYo, there really is a lot of content in Genshin. There's 3 vast countries to explore, hundreds of quests to complete, and a bunch of interactive and really well-made character stories to play, among a lot of other cool stuff, and that's all awesome. The problem is, theoretically, every player will eventually catch up to the endgame, which is totally normal. I mean, miHoYo can't put out so much content that you never catch up with it all. That's just not possible. But the thing is, once you've made it to the endgame, you start to realize that there's really not much left to do at all, besides the very occasional Spiral Abyss resets and maybe artifact farming. And that's not really normal for games like Genshin. Genshin is designed to have a long lifespan and should be filled with replayable content, but as of right now, the only replayable content in Genshin is the same dailies, weeklies, and Spiral Abyss resets that we've seen for literally a year now. The only real change to the endgame that felt a little impactful was Inazuma's release, in which we were introduced to a bunch of new bosses and enemies that appeared in a wildly more difficult Spiral Abyss, and that was fun for a while, but at the end of the day, it still loses replayability once you 36 star it. And from my perspective, this is all to say that I'm actually kinda confused as to why miHoYo hasn't even tried adding some new form of replayable in-game content. It really wouldn't be difficult to add something like an endless abyss mode where you fight wave after wave of enemies with your teams and gain daily/weekly rewards based on your success, or something like solo/co-op raids in which you take on really intricate and challenging domains that force you to think about team builds and synergies so that it feels like a challenge and also becomes replayable with friends, team comps, builds, etc. Finally, on the topic of challenge-based in-game content, why not actually force a meta into the game? As of right now, the game itself is so easy that you can technically build anyone as a main DPS and get away with it. So to that end, there's no point in building anyone after you've gathered your 2 Abyss teams, but with an actual meta that changes periodically and forces you to think more carefully about your strategies, the game itself would just naturally refresh its interest anytime a meta shift happens. You'd have incentive to build new characters, try new teams, and that alone would give many players better reasons to come back and invest in characters than just, I'm bored, let me see if this character can also one-shot every enemy in the game. And with more defined metas would hopefully come along challenging And with more defined metas would hopefully come actually challenging overworld exploration. Inazuma brought about a lot of new challenges to the game which felt really refreshing compared to Liyue and Mondstadt, because in Inazuma, enemies are more difficult and world exploration is much more interactive and even challenging at times.
The fuck is you?
Behind you. What with environmental hazards and strong enemies everywhere you look. But still, I feel like there should be a point in time where miHoYo begins adding regions and locations that are really difficult, areas that force the meta in the overworld so exploration feels more rewarding and less autopilot-y. Cause as of right now, I can sit and stream and talk to my chat while left-clicking at any location in Genshin and I'll be just fine. That is a bit of a problem. But yeah, there's a lot of burnout right now because of the state of the game and the lack of replayable/rewarding/incentivizing content, and it just confuses me considering how simple of a fix it can be. Adding raids or endless spiral modes and things like that have no effect on casual players, so it's not as if there's risks to adding those to the game. And as for more difficult overworld exploration, that kinda has to happen at some point, or else the game will stay easy and continue to lose appeal. Genshin is an amazing game, especially given it's completely free to play, and besides the anniversary rewards, shame on you, miHoYo has done a great job at making the game fun and engaging up until the endgame, and I think that's exactly where the burnout problem arises for most players. It's not fun hopping on for 30 minutes a day to do the same dailies you've done for a year just to get a third of a wish and then log off. It objectively feels like a chore, and we want more reasons to play and invest in the game and its beautifully designed characters and story. I want better reasons to stay home and play Yoimiya for ungodly amounts of time. Give me that one thing. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video and you want to stick around, feel free to subscribe or follow my Twitch or even join my Discord server, because it's full of some pretty cool people. All those links are down below, and I am now gonna go. Goodbye!